Hi, my name is Will Graylin, and I'm the CEO of OVLoop as well as Indigo Technologies. It's my fifth and sixth company, and my previous four were all lucky enough to be acquired by large publicly traded companies in the Web 1 and Web 2 wallet and POS space. I guess you can call it fintech. Now, before starting my companies, I was actually at MIT getting a couple of master's degrees, and that's where I caught my entrepreneurial bug during the Web 1 era. And before coming to MIT, frankly, I had no idea that I was going to be a entrepreneur at all, because I was a nuclear submarine officer and the first Chinese immigrant to become a US nuclear submarine officer at that. So life's journey has taken me quite a ways, but where I'm going right now with especially OVLoop is the transition that I see from Web 1 to Web 2 to now Web 3. And Web 3 is no longer about just a mobile wallet or a mobile point of sale. Web 3 is now about a super app. Now, why do I say that we're actually going back into the future towards a trusted commerce community? And the primary reason is that we have to really look at how we used to do things as trusted communities when we were doing commerce in a simple way, in a small town, in a place where the merchants knows us, and where we just pull out our wallet at the point of sale and we conduct commerce. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. But of course, you're wondering why I'm talking about super apps. In fact, this opportunity and thing called the super app has been mentioned on the New York Magazine just a few months ago by Professor Scott Galloway, that says a super app in the US is a strategic imperative and can result in the first $10 trillion company. Now that's worth listening to a little bit. So let's talk about, well, what is the problem today? And why is it that we don't have a super app here in the United States? I'll talk a little bit more about that. But in the Web 2 environment, quite frankly, it's about a very fragmented commerce environment that lacks universality, lacks privacy in the digital world. We don't have our private digital wallet that we control with sovereignty, much like in the old days. In the physical world, we control our physical wallet. Nobody else has access to it. And when we go to the store, we do everything there, from asking questions of the clerk, from getting credit, getting rewards, making returns. All of that happens between the wallet and the point of sale. But as we start getting more remote with mail order, telephone order, then with Web 1, web, email, different tender types, different channels, and different devices that we use. That only got worse when we got to Web 2 with iOS and Android, and then we have mobile apps and social, and so on and so forth. Buy now, pay later, Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, and I was the global co-GM of Samsung Pay when they acquired my last company called LoopPay. And for the POS side, even though it moved from the physical world into the remote world, it's still just another point of sale. So as we move to Web 3, the devices, channels, and tender types will continue to proliferate, but we need a private digital wallet that can work across channels, across devices, and across tender types. Otherwise, what happens is we have high fraud, we have high spam, we have poor checkout experiences, poor conversions, and the businesses that are serving us don't have a good loyalty program, and they don't have good customer service, and it's a pain. So these kinds of experiences that we're seeing in the Web 2 can be addressed, and we know that they can because in Asia this is already being addressed. So in Asia you have super apps like WeChat Pay, Alipay, and together just in the last few years they have went from practically nothing to about 83% penetration, $67 trillion of turnover. And in the meantime, why isn't there here in the US, despite 8 years of Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, Google Pay, PayPal, why aren't those super apps? It's because they're just dealing with payments. They're not unifying the buyer's wallet with the seller's point of sale. And then therefore, when you look at the complexity of how we're doing commerce today, they're not really addressing the crux of those issues. They're not offering rewards. They're not offering loyalty. And therein lies an opportunity. And the opportunity is exactly what OV Loop has been building the last 4 years since I left Samsung Pay. And I've been really focused on a private digital wallet and unifying that wallet with a universal or omni-channel point of sale that works online, in-app, in-message, as well as in a physical environment. So it's about bridging the buyer's wallet with the seller's point of sale and closing that loop. So what does that mean in closing that loop? And how do we make that experience great? And it means it's one tap for payments, one tap for offers, one tap rewards, just like the Starbucks experience now, except you can get it out to the main street. And it's about one tap support for messaging without getting the spam. So it's really about your own VIP loop. Whether you are a buyer that has a bunch of sellers that offer you VIP, or whether you're a seller, you have a bunch of VIP customers that you want to better serve. So as a brand, we help brands with a set of tools that basically allows them to have one-tap payments, one-tap rewards, one-tap engagement without changing their point of sale. So how do we do that? Well, we do that by closing the loop on the other side with a wallet, a super app wallet that happens to be private and using the latest era blockchain technology for self-custody of wallet. So meaning that you own your own digital keys. No longer in the old days of one database locking everybody's data with one key so that whoever gets access to it basically has the keys to the kingdom. And that's why we have so much identity fraud, payment fraud, and so forth. But here, you get to derive your own private key that only you can control through what's called a BIP32 and a BIP39 protocol. Now, if you control that key, that means you control the data. And if you control the data, that means it's iOS, Android, on my PC, it's backed up on the cloud. Whoever hacks into the cloud, they just see a bunch of encrypted blobs. They can't really do anything with that. So therefore, I finally feel that I have a private digital wallet that I can store my payment cards, my bank accounts, my ID, my membership, my passwords, my NFCs, my crypto keys. That's a safe place that nobody else gets to see it. You don't want a wallet that somebody else stores and they can access and recover the data inside, right? And that's Web 2. So Web 3 is all about the digital privacy and self-sovereignty of controlling your own data. But we went one step further, which is it's great to have a wallet, but where can I use it? And can I have a one-tap payment experience? Doesn't matter whether it's iOS or Android. I should be able to tap and pay in the physical environment. I should have a one-tap payment experience in the online environment for easy checkout. And that easy checkout should also be able to offer me other tender types like buy now, pay later. It should also be able to one tap at a merchant location, and if that merchant gives me a reward, I don't need to give my phone number and do all of the other things that are cumbersome today. Sign up for my program. No, just one tap. One tap rewards, one tap payments. And then when it comes to loyalty and support and engagement, well, we have a private messenger as well. So it's not only a private wallet with private cash, private rewards, but also private messenger where I can chat with one tap or even completely hands-free with my voice, with my friends, with groups, and with businesses that serve me. So closing that loop between the buyer's wallet, that super app, and the seller's point of sale without changing their point of sale at all, and making it easy for brands to join OV Loop and easy for consumers to join OV Loop now becomes a trusted community. As more brands join OV Loop and more consumers join OV Loop, this becomes effectively the next generation trusted commerce community. And that little OV is not only your own VIP loop, but we believe that at the center of every good relationship and good communities, it's the spirit of love. And OV is actually the center of the 4 letters love. So thank you for your attention, and we hope that you'll join OV Loop in the future.